When you were at Campbell, you had brought in executives from a variety of organizations. I know you'd said there were people from Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, General Mills. Many of those leaders, you'd said at the time, they were still speaking the language of their previous organization. I found that to be such an interesting observation. What did you do to help unify them under the Campbell vision?
Well, we created it collaboratively together. But just to step back, we did have to make significant changes at Campbell when I went in 10 years ago. The company had been in what a friend of mine, Jim Kiltz, former chairman CEO of Gillette, called the circle of doom, where the company had been troubled for several years and needed some fundamental change. And over the first 3 years I was there, we turned over 300 of our top 350 leaders, which in my consumer packaged goods experience I've never seen before, and in my corporate experience I've never seen before. We promoted 150 people from within who were young Turks, anxious to contribute, had the capacity to contribute more. But we did step outside and hire 150 leaders, aspiring leaders from outside of our company to help us reinvent ourselves. And they did come from the Pepsis and the Procter & Gambles and the General Mills of the world. And all those cultures had unique perspectives, unique languages, and we sort of had a United Nations of consumer packaged goods executives, and we needed to get to common language. So together we created a common sense of mission, a common sense of values. There are three key values I think any organization needs. You need people of high character, high competence, and then they have to have good chemistry. They have to be able to work together effectively, and they have to have demonstrated that in prior work experiences. We were able to recruit people, high character, high competent, good teamwork people, and so we had the basis for making things better. But then we had to create a common language, and that was sort of a fun part of the journey. We created a mission, a vision, a set of strategies that we all adhered to. We created what we called the Campbell Leadership Model, which was our true north in terms of what we expected leaders to do. We created language around that. We created an employee value proposition that was in the language of Campbell. And we created some core processes where we got everyone on the same page speaking the same language. So 10 years later, or 7 years after we went through that part of the experience of change, we've now got a culture that has its rudder in the water, has its own identity, and now our new CEO, Denise Morrison, is taking it to higher ground.